Kind of taking more responsibility and leadership roles in my business life, and kind of with my personal interest to bring them out to the world in a bigger way than I was, which was mostly friends and family, which is a great place to start. But when I started trying to branch out of that, I found it challenging to bring my my message and my interest to a bigger audience, and knowing how to communicate my interests and reach people on a personal level. So that's kind of what got me searching for answers. Yeah. So I think one of the first things I found was his podcast, which was called Shrink for the Shy Guy. And I've been through enough podcasts to know that just because it says guy doesn't mean I won't relate to it. And surely enough, it's all like people stuff, just knowing how to talk to people, how to build relationships, how to deepen relationships we already have that are going stale, or it's like anybody can relate to that. So that's what I found through the podcast. And then I think I heard the audio book of Not Nice. So that was the next step. And then, of course, with the podcast, you start hearing about the event, and it gets in your brain, and you're like, all right, time for that. One of the take-homes that I'll have is actually getting, hands-on practice of how to apply some of these skills that I've been hearing about in the books and reading about with people at the event. So just approaching a group of people I've never met before to chat with them and talk about our interests, to approach us, someone over the course of 3 days and get to know them better than just the small talk that we tend to run through, and being okay with that. Like, yeah, you want to hear about what I'm doing, and I want to hear about what you're doing, and that's natural and, part of human connection. So just getting to experience that was pretty kind of novel. And I think in the past, trying to seek out help for social related issues has not worked out great, because I found that therapists have an approach of like, let's just try to figure this out, and I think it'll work itself out with time. But being with this group of people who happen to share some form of difficulty around it really normalized it for me, and I realized it is a little different from other things people go through. And because Aziz has had his own issues with social confidence or anxiety or relating, whatever you want to call it, the way he teaches comes from his own experience, and that there's no replacement for that, and you can feel it when he's talking. And yeah, a lot of time, a lot of money, and they don't really get it either, because it's just another thing for them. They didn't know how to specifically target it. That's why it takes so long. You're probably trying to figure out how to solve it. No. I think therapy has its place, and sometimes there's other things that need addressing before you're able to come to an event like this. But if you're ready to kind of take that next step, and you've been trying a lot of things on your own, and one step forward, 2 steps back, I think this is like the place to really get the momentum to see results. And yeah. I think it was just a lot of fun being here too. When I came, I kind of had the sense like, oh, I'm gonna have to be drudging stuff up and crying with my inner child and doing all this family work. And it's like, okay, I've been through that. But no, it was the opposite. It was like playful, and we had games, and we joked and laughed and danced, and I was like, okay, you know, if I have to do this kind of work, I want to do it in a place where I'm having fun too, because, you know, some of these things can be heavy, and when you're with people who make you laugh and enjoy it, it goes a little smoother. So, yeah.